Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome to Srila Prabhupada Book Reading Club. We are reading the book Teachings of a Lord Chaitanya. Sorry, Lord Chaitanya, his life and his teaching. And we are in a point like where we are discussing like most intimate thing, that like discussion between Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Rai. So we will read from this book also, and like we will go in little depth, and like we will read around 40 pages from the book, which is little descriptive from the teachings of a Lord Chaitanya. Okay, because this is very important question even in the initiation. If you want to take an initiation, like what is the most important, then how that goes from the karma kanda to the jnana kanda, then uh, karma mishrit bhakti to the jnana mishrit bhakti. So, and what is the what is the supreme, so they go in this way. So we will start today's session with a mangalacharan. Let's offer prayers to our acharyas, so we will understand this a very beautiful books written by Srila Prabhupada. Okay. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरं मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहित कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांच। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So Hare Krishna everyone. We
Hare
will
Krishna
start our
Mataji.
today's session by taking the darshan of Radha Madhav. Okay, and you know today in Mangal Aarti, like a Narsim, like a Sheshnaga, like during the nursing Aarti, Sheshnaga was a dancing. Okay, is my screen is visible, Mataji?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. And like in Mangalati time, Radha Krishna are just wake up after doing the rasa dance, they fall gopis massage their feet and they fall Radha Krishna sleep, and like around the 6, like Radha Krishna wake up, and at that time like they are just wake up, so they are offer little sweets like kheer and laddus and little sweets and with the milk, and the small aarti is performed by the manjaris, that is called as a mangal aarti. And like at this time of a mangal aarti, the uh, mangal aarti, it is Lord Radha and Krishna, they are so merciful. So like when we take the darshan during the mangal aarti, it is very auspicious, and it kills it burn into the ashes our piles of even the mountains of our sinful reactions. So it is very important to attend the mangal aarti, or you can perform at your home. You can see how beautiful they are. Like when you take the darshan and when you attend the mangal aarti, so you will feel like what we say now, we are in heaven, like it is that kind of feeling. And this is all from the spiritual world. This is not material. Okay. Jai Radha Madhav. And yes, this is the Narsimha Deva. The hoods of a Sheshnaga are dancing. I will post in a group, okay? You can see there. And these are my contact details. And this is the Mangalarti session. So now we can move. Because
Krishna,
it's
Mataji.
not now. Yes.
Yeah, Mataji. Today we are going to read this conversation between Ramanand Raya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is there in the Madhya Leela, Mataji. I posted the link in the chat. You can share that.
Madhyalila
you don't
Mataji, if we start reading, that it will take another 1 month. But
Okay.
there is
No,
another
yesterday you
small
said-
book from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji, can you read? Anyone wants to read?
Yes,
Like we will
Mataji.
finish the reading from this book and then we can. So till now we have seen that it is recommended by the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. There is a very good devotee whose name is Ramananda Rai. And when we see Ramananda materially, he belonged to caste lower than a Brahmana. And but he holds very good post in a government, and we are also seeing that sannyasis don't meet the political people because they are too much concerned with the politics and too much they are too much material. So sannyasis are generally don't meet these political leaders. Yes, who wants to read? Yes, Vinod Prabhu can read.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
When he met Sri Ramananda Raya on the banks of the Godavari, the Varna Asrama Dharma followed by the Hindus was mentioned by the Lord Sri Ramananda Raya, said that by following the principles of Varna Asrama Dharma, the system of 4 castes and 4 orders of human life, everyone could realize transcendence. In the opinion of the Lord, the system of Varna Ashram Dharma is superficial only, and it has very little to do with the highest realization of spiritual values. The highest perfection of life is to get detached from the material attachment and proportionately realize the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The personality of Godhead recognizes a living being who is progressing in that line. Devotional service, therefore, is the culmination of culture of our knowledge. When Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appeared for the deliverance of all fallen souls, he advised the deliverance of all living entities as follows. The Supreme Absolute Personality of Godhead, from whom all living entities have emanated, must be worshipped by all their respective engagements, because everything that we see is also the expansion of his energy. That is the way of real perfection, and it is approved by all bona fide acharyas past and present. The system of Varna Asrama is more or less based on moral and ethical principles. There is very little realization of the transcendence as such, and Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected it as superficial and asked Ramananda Raya to go further into the matter. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So here we can see now, yes, when they discuss, then Ramananda Raya says then when we follow the Varnashrama Dharma, then it is the highest realization. But this is not true. Lord Chaitanya rejected, because following rules and regulation, it is from superficial. Now we are just following rules and regulation. Even we are seeing in our culture, like as a part of a culture, people goes in a temple, simply bow down their head, take the prasadam, and do all these activities, but nothing from the heart. Inside heart there is no love for Krishna. So what is the use of such a rituals? We are simply doing superficially, we performing a dharma superficially, but inside there is nothing. So Lord Chaitanya don't like this superficial. Even we are attending Mangal Aarti, when we are chanting, or when we are reading, we are doing on a material plane. when we are doing only superficially, like unless and until there is an internal change inside our heart, and like dharma is something which will like ultimately leads you to the love Lord. When you are not loving Lord, then this is not a dharma, this is not a true dharma. Okay. So, like, yes, Lord Krishna is saying, like, the Lord Chaitanya is saying that he is rejecting this superficial dharma. Like, we are only doing the rituals, like, following rules and regulation, but inside there is nothing. So, Lord Chaitanya reject this, and like he's saying that we should worship the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Lord Krishna, by all their respective engagement. Means whatever like we are doing, it is not just about giving like 3-4 hours for Krishna, but it is about whatever work you are doing, you have to do it for a Krishna. Okay. Just Vinod Prabhu, you can continue, because like we will have a lot of reading opportunity. Okay.
Stage is
Yeah.
leading to the highest perfection. Sri Ramananda Rai then suggests renunciation of fruitive actions unto the Lord. The Bhagavad Gita 9.27 advises in this connection. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, and whatever you give, as well as whatever you perform in penance, offer to me alone. This dedication on the part of the worker suggests that the personality Put down thoda sa Mataji. Personality of Godhead is a step higher than the impersonal conception of the Varna Ashram system. But still, the relations of the living being and the Lord is not distinct in that way. The Lord therefore rejected this proposition and asked Ramananda Raya to go further. Raya
Hare
then
Krishna,
said,
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we will go paragraph by paragraph. Okay.
Okay, Mataji. Okay, Mataji.
So here we are seeing now, like, yes, sir. Firstly, like, they were discussing about like what is the highest and like what is the spirituality. So Ramananda Rai said the renunciation of fruitive actions onto the Lord, like as from the Bhagavad Gita 9.27. So whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you give, as well as whatever you perform in a penances is offered to me. Means like we have to like this is the karma kanda, na? Like we are doing it for the other demigods or for our sense gratification, but now everything we have to offer to Krishna, then only we have to accept, and like we have to do this with a dedication. Like, and this is the this is the like first is the impersonal, na? Like they don't believe in a personal form of Lord, so they want to merge with the Lord, like merge with a Brahman. But this is like this is the work of a people who have a very less brain substance. So like greater than this impersonal people, these are the fruitive workers, like who are offering everything to the Krishna in a dedication. And but like what is the use of this varnashrama dharma? Like we are following, you are doing everything, but you are not developing love for Krishna. Like what is the principle of following varnashrama dharma is that, like okay, you are following rules and regulation. Ultimately you have to reach to the stage of love. You should start loving Krishna. But like when you are not loving Krishna, then it is a useless. Yes, Prabhu, you can continue.
Rai then suggested renunciation of the Varna Ashram Dharma and acceptance of devotional service. The Lord did not approve of this suggestion also, for the reason that all of a sudden one should not renounce his position, for that may not bring in the desired results. It was further suggested renunciation of the Varna Ashram Dharma and acceptance of devotional service. The Lord did not. It was further suggested by Raya that attainment of spiritual realization, freed from the material conception of life, is the topmost achievement for a living being. The Lord rejected this suggestion also because, on the plea of such spiritual realization, much havoc has been wrought by unscrupulous persons. Therefore, all of a sudden, this is not possible. The Raya then suggested sincere association of self-realized souls and hearing submissively the transcendental message of the pastimes of the personality of Godhead. This suggestion was welcomed by the Lord. This suggestion was made following in the footsteps of Brahmaji, who said that personality of God, it is known as Ajita, or the one who cannot be conquered or approached by anyone. But such Ajita also becomes Jita, conquered by one method, which is very simple and easy. This simple method is that one has to give up the arrogant attitude of declaring oneself to be God himself. One must be very meek and submissive and try to live peacefully by lending the ear to the Maharaji page up, meek and submissive, lending the ear to the speeches of the transcendentally self-realized soul who speaks on the message of Bhagavad Dharma or the
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So then after that, he suggests that one who is free from the material conception, but Lord reject this also, because even you are free from the material concept, even impersonalists want to be even gyanis want to be the free from this because gyanis, what they think, okay, whatever money I earn, when I leave this body, everything will be living will be stay here only. And even so, then what is the work, what is why should I work, simply and yes, this everywhere there is a illusion, and everyone is suffering, then why should I suffer? Better to I go in a Brahman and stay there, and I will I will merge with a Brahman, and I will also become a god. So they are also trying to get free from the material conception. But so this is not only the thing, if you become free from the material conception, then you will be spiritually advanced. So Lord Chaitanya also reject this, but Lord Chaitanya welcome one thing, that is we have to sincerely associate with the self-realized souls and hear the submissively. So we have to hear the submissively, we don't have to put our questions in a challenging spirit. And this process is very simple and easy, but we have to one have to give up his arrogant attitude to declaring himself as a god, or I will going to merge in a Brahman and I will become a god. No. And one must be meek and submissive, one must be humble. So Krishna don't like the pride people who are having a lot of pride. Krishna love someone who is a meek and humble. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, continue.
religion of glorifying the Supreme Lord and his devotees. To glorify a great man is a natural instinct for living beings, but they have not learned to glorify the Lord. Perfection of life is attained simply by glorifying the Lord in association with a self realized devotee of the Lord. The self realized devotee is he who surrenders unto the Lord fully and who does not have attachment for material prosperity. Material prosperity and sense enjoyment and their advancement are all activities of ignorance in human society. Peace and friendship are impossible for a society detached from the association of God and his devotees. It is imperative, therefore, that one sincerely seek the association of pure devotees and hear them patiently and submissively from any position of life. The position of a person in the higher or lower status of life does not hamper one in the path of self-realization. The only the only thing one has to do is to hear from a self-realized soul with a routine program. The teacher may also deliver lectures from the Vedic literatures, following in the footsteps of the bygone acharyas who realized the absolute truth. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended this simple method of self-realization, generally known as Bhagavad Dharma. Srimad Bhagavatam is the perfect guide for this purpose. Hare Krishna.
Hare
About
Krishna,
these,
Prabhuji. Yes, so yes, what is the perfection of life is attained, and how is the perfection of life is attained? Simply by glorifying Lord. And it is a natural instinct that we tend to glorify some great man, but we have to glorify Krishna, we have to glorify the Lord. Okay. And what everyone is engaged in what? Like they want a material prosperity, they want a sense enjoyment, and like they want to advance in all of these activities. But these activities are in ignorance. Because why it is in ignorance? Okay, like let me work hard and let me get more and more material comforts. But like this material comforts are nothing but just a distraction. And what is our main goal? Main goal is to get out of this material world, go back to the Godhead and develop the love for Krishna, develop and do the transcendental loving service to the Krishna. This is the goal of human life. But if you simply run behind the material comforts, then like we are simply getting distracted, and our purpose of a human form of life is not fulfilled. So that's why like these things are said to be in ignorance. And like friendship and peace cannot be developed until there is a Krishna is in the center. Like everyone will be fight, okay, I'm Hindu, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, but like this friendship and peace will be there. Like even like they fight, like I'm an Indian, I'm an American, or in Pakistan, so we have to fight with each other. No, like this peace and friendship will be only restored when everyone start thinking, okay, everyone is a part and parcel of a Lord, and we together we have to serve the Krishna. So then only real peace and friendship can be re-established. So yes, like Lord Chaitanya is saying that we have to sincerely seek the association of a pure devotees, and patiently and submissively we have to hear from them. And like yes, we are reading the Srila Prabhupada books, like we are also associating with the pure devotee of Krishna, the Srila Prabhupada. So like when we are reading, when we are hearing, we are also associating. There are many recordings of Srila Prabhupada's lecture on YouTube and even internet. You can go through that. And like what saying, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, like self-realized souls, like they have to make like if you want to spiritually advance, we have to make a routine program. It's not like one day we are hearing, another day we are not reading, or like for rest of 5 days we are not hearing or reading anything. No, this is the routine program. As a part of routine, we have to do this, and like we have to hear at least for the 30 minutes. We should hear the Bhagavatam or like Srila Prabhupada books. And like this is the very simple method of a self-realization, and this is known as a Bhagavad Dharma. And like Srimad Bhagavatam is a perfect guide for this purpose. So every day we should hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. Like yes, there are online class in our temple also. That's why we are like leaving everyone like early, like from 8 a.m. they can join the Bhagavatam class. So like 30 minutes, okay. Even I don't have the time, too much time. At 8 a.m. I have to attend some material classes. So when I'm taking the lunch, or like when I'm taking the break, in that time, like I hear the Bhagavatam class. Okay. So we have to find the solution how we can introduce spirituality in our life, rather than find the excuses. Oh, I don't have time, how can I do, and like what things I can do. No, you have to find the solution, not excuses. Yes, Vinod Prabhu, you can continue.
About these topics discussed by the Lord and Sri Ramananda Rai, there were still more elevated spiritual talks between the two great personalities, and we purposely withhold those topics for the present because one has to come to the spiritual plane before further talks with Ramananda Rai can be heard. We have presented further talks of Sri Ramananda Rai with the Lord in another book, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. At the conclusion of this meeting, Sri Ramananda Rai was advised by the Lord to retire from service and come to Puri so that they could live together and relish a transcendental relationship. Some time later, Sri Ramananda Raya retired from the government service and took a pension from the king. He returned to his residence in Puri, where he was one of the most confidential devotees of the Lord. There was another gentleman at Puri of the name Sikhi Methi, who was also a confidant like Ramananda Raya. The Lord used to hold confidential talks on spiritual values with 3 or 4 companions at Puri, and he passed 18 years in that way in spiritual trance. His talks were recorded by his private secretary Shri Damodara Goswami, one of the 4 most intimate devotees. The Lord extensively traveled all over the southern part of India. The great saint of Maharashtra, known as Sant Tukaram, was also initiated by the Lord. Saint Tukaram, after initiation by the Lord, overflowed the whole of the Maharashtra province with the Sankirtana movement, and the transcendental flow is still rolling on in the southwestern part of the great Indian peninsula. The Lord excavated from South India two very important old literatures, namely the Brahma Samhita and Krishna Karnamrita. And these two valuable books are authorized studies for the person in the devotional line. The Lord then returned to Puri after his South Indian tour.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, yes, this is very brief explanation of the talks between Ramananda Rai and Lord Chaitanya, because these talks are transcendental, and to hear these talks we also have to come on that plane, or we have to be there should be in purity of a heart. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam it is said that it is for the devotees of Lord. Only devotees of Lord can understand Srimad Bhagavatam, and who are the pure in their heart, they are a non-envious envious of anything. So yes, and then like at the end, the conclusion, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised the Ramananda Rai that you have to retire from this service, come to the Puri, then we can live together and release the transcendental relationship. And even he was that Ramananda Rai was a Shudra, and he was some political. Uh, Lord Chaitanya meet him and also embrace him. When we will go to this book now, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, here we can see in little depth. So here it is said that because not because he was a Shudra, and not because he was the political leader, Lord embarrassed him because he was the pure devotee of Krishna, and he was a transcendental. That's the reason Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced the Ramananda Rai. And yes, after hearing the Lord, this is the submissiveness. When your Lord instruct, when the Guru instruct, we have to follow without any excuses and without giving any reasons. So Ramananda Rai retire, he take the pension from the king, and he go to the Puri, and where he live with the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they almost spend the 18 years in the spiritual trance, and whatever the conversation they do, it is recorded by the private secretary of Lord Chaitanya, Srila Damodara Goswami. And it will be depth. It will be go this conversation. It will go in little depth in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and further like. Or in the more and more depth, we can read from the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela. And also, Mataji has posted a link. If someone is very interested, they can go through that Chaitanya Charitamrita. But if you start the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it will take a 1.5 month, I think. So, we cannot start currently, but we can read the 40 pages of this book, okay? So, yes, and and Lord he traveled all over the southern part of India, and he in the Maharashtra he met the Santa Tukaram, and he also initiated the Santa Tukaram, and when he initiated the Santa Tukaram, entire Maharashtra was roaming with the Sankirtana movement. Even now also people who are staying in the Maharashtra, they they do the Ashadi Vari by just by walking, they go to the Pandarpur, and for the 15 days that they sing the glories of Panduranga, who is the who is non different from the Krishna. And everyone do the, even this culture is still remaining, in my in background you can see here some, in this Kartik month, they do the Kakad Aarti, the for for the Vitthal Bhagwan. So it is in a ritual, they are now doing as a ritual, but they don't know the significance. Every day they are waking up at waking up at 4, and from 4:30 they are doing these aartis. So they don't know the significance. In the Damodar month, you have to offer the diya, and you have to attend the Mangalarti, and you have to take the bath at Brahma Murta. So this Santa Tukaram, they indirectly develop everything, and like we now people are simply following just as a ritual. They don't know the significance. So yes, and like in the South India tour, Lord also evacuated two important old literatures like a Brahma Samhita and a Krishna Karnamrita. Like these are the authoritative books for studied to be studied in a devotional line. So I think like should we continue that this discussion, or like should we start the Mukund Mala Sutra? What we will say? Hare Krishna. You want to
माताजी
continue, Chaitanya?
दोनों
We
साथ
can
साथ चलने
continue,
का है।
Mataji.
मुकुंद माला माताजी।
I think we should go for the Mukund Mala Stotra because we have to finish this before Kartik.
Yes,
And
yes,
this is
Mataji.
also like how wonderful book is this, na Mukund Mala Stotra. I really love it. So like we can spend like another week also on this book, okay? Because like this is about our Lord Chaitanya, like who is the golden avatar, and this is the Yuga avatar of Krishna, na? So like
Yeah.
this is very important. So there is nothing to lose like if we spend more time on this book, okay? So we will move towards the Mukund Mala Stotra, okay?
मुकुंद माला पत्र।
Yeah. Hare Krishna, who wants to read, they can raise their hand. So yes, we are moving toward the Mukund Mala Stotra. Here we have firstly what we said in past slokas, that we don't have to think about the people, what people are thinking. We have to think that what my Krishna will think, what my Guru Maharaj will think. And then when you are not using your body parts in a Krishna service, then you are considered to be the dead according to Kurushekara. And like we have to engage our eyes by seeing the beautiful form of a Lord, and we have to use our hands to serve the Krishna. We have to use our head to bow down before the Krishna. We have to use our legs to walk to the temple, and we have to use our intelligence to think and memorize about the Krishna. And we have to engage everything. We have to engage in a tongue in a glorifying the Krishna, and we have to engage our ears about to hear the glorification of Krishna. We have to we have to use our tongue chanting the holy name of Krishna to or take the prasadam or to take the charanamrita. And yes, we also seen this now, like Krishna is saying, like, okay, you don't have to give up everything, but you simply have to engage everything in my service. And like Krishna is saying, ma anusmara yuddhacha, matlab, you have to remember me, and at the same time you have to fight. Like Arjuna can fight with the thousands and millions of soldiers in a war, and like we are not doing that kind of a war, na? Like, but we can doing the simple activities like working in an office or working in a kitchen. So like we can remember, like while cooking, we can on the background we can hear some sankirtana, and like or we can hear some lectures. This is how we manage the time. Even when we are walking, when we are traveling, we can simply plug the earphones, and we can hear the Hari Katha, or we can hear the Kirtan. These are the simple ways. And like our real nature will comes when you don't have to, when you have nothing to do. When there is a free time, then what you do? Do you take the Srila Prabhupada books and read them, or like you chant the holy names, or like you hear the Hari Katha, or you simply go on the YouTube and play some film songs, or like watch the movies, or like simply gossip? So like when you have the free time, how you utilize, or you simply sleep, how you utilize the free time, that is your real nature, okay? And yes, like it is said, and we also seen that na, like Maya is just so strong, but devotee don't scare of the Maya, because like Krishna is a much more powerful than Maya, and like Maya is under the Krishna. So when we serve Krishna, then like we become free from this like even what is the most strong material desire? This is the sex desire. And like devotees don't like become free from this sex desire simply by meditating on the beautiful form of a Lord Krishna. And we also see, anyone remember what is the beauty treatment for a devotees of a Lord? Hare Krishna. Everyone is sleeping. No one is on in the videos, and even no one is replying.
Yamunacharya.
Just engaging in the devotional service of the Lord is the beauty treatment, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. So, like, what is the beauty treatment? We see in the past verses that, like, when you, when you take the like dust of lotus feet of Krishna, and like yesterday I was reading the Bhagavatam. There, Srila Prabhupada is saying, yes, we have to take, the dust of lotus feet of Krishna, but taking dust of lotus feet of Krishna means you have to take the dust of lotus feet of a of a bona fide spiritual master or a guru. And what is meant by taking dust of a lotus feet of a guru and a Krishna? Anyone remember?
The
We
instructions,
have to do
Mataji.
physically.
Following their
Yeah, we have to
instruction.
follow the instructions. Yes, we have to follow the instructions. So, I just need to check everyone is sleeping or hearing. So yes, like taking dust of lotus feet of a Krishna is equivalent to taking the dust of a lotus feet of a spiritual bona fide master. So we have to follow the instructions, whatever they are giving instruction. When we follow the instruction humbly, then this more you associate with Krishna, we start becoming beautiful, and this is the beauty treatment. So yes, we also seen that this Yamuna Charyas yesterday that yes, when I engage my senses and mind in Krishna's lotus feet and serving the Krishna's lotus feet, then even there is a thought of enjoying the sense gratification or think of the sex, he split because this is nothing as compared to the this is nothing as compared to the service to the lotus feet, because this is the temporary, and this sex life is a perverted reflection of a uh, love of a godhead, in the Bhagavad Gita there is, in chapter 3 there is analogy, when milk is associated with the tamarind, it get converted into the curd. So similarly, our love for Krishna, when it get associated with this material conditioning, with the material body, then it get converted into the lust. So this lust is nothing but a perverted reflection of our love to the Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna, Muttamanikam Prabhu, you can read. So we are on 23 stotra.
Hare Krishna Murali. Translation. Think only of your master and sustainer, the Supreme Lord, who is known as Narayana and Madhava, and who lies on the body of the serpent Ananda. He is the darling son of Devaki, the hero of the demigods, and the lord of the cows, and he holds the conch shell and the bow saranga. He is the husband of the goddess of fortune and the controller of all the universe, which he manifests from his abdomen as a pastime. What will you gain by thinking of anything else? Purpose. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In previous verses, King Kulasegara has instructed his own mind to be fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna, and now he instructs his readers to fix their minds on him as well. He gives some of the Lord's innumerable names which describe his qualities and pastimes. Devotees are attracted to serving a specific aspect of the Supreme Lord according to the specific rasa or loving relationship with him. One may meditate on and serve any bona fide form of the Lord and derive the same benefit of going back to Godhead. While passing away from the world, grandfather Bhishma, who was a chivalrous relationship with Krishna and chanted prayers recalling that aspect of the Lord. Praying that his mind would go unto Krishna, he reviewed the Lord chivalrous pastimes in his mind. May he, Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who awares salvation, be my ultimate destination. On the battlefield, he charged me as if angry because of the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows. His shield was scattered, and his body was smeared with blood due to the wounds. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.9.38. In this verse, King Kulasegara instructs us to attain samadhi or ecstatic concentration on the supreme. Yogis try to achieve samadhi by perfecting the eightfold yoga process, but this is very difficult. When Krishna recommended this practice to Arjuna, he replied, "O Madhusudana, the system of yoga who have summarized appears impractical and unbearable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady. Controlling the mind is more difficult than controlling the wind." Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam 6.33 to 34. By contrasting, Bhakti Yoga is so easy that anyone can successfully practice it. A sincere soul who chants and hears the holy names of Krishna and also hears the pastimes and qualities narrated by such self-realized devotees can progress to the highest stages of concentration with an ease unknown to the followers of other yoga processes. Why does King Kulasekara deem as worthless all activities except fixing the mind on Krishna? Because all other acts and thoughts are temporary and thus lead to unending entanglement in material misery. As Srila Prabhupada wrote in his Bhagavad Gita commentary, if one is not in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be a final goal for the mind. By the tricks of fate and the inexorable workings of karma, what appears auspicious and happy one moment may turn into tragedy the next. Like the Supreme Lord, the soul is Satchidananda Vigraha, BS 5.1, eternal and full of bliss and knowledge, and as such he can be fully satisfied only when he unites in bhakti with the Lord. He should join with the Bhishmadeva in praying, "May his lotus feet always remain the objects of my attraction." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, in a Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, there is one analogy, like detached branches. Okay. So, like we have one tree, and if we like a pluck one branch of the tree or pluck few leaves and keep them aside, and like when we water the when we water the tree, if the branches or the leaves will get the water, or they will maintain fresh. Hare Krishna. Hare, you have to answer, Baba. So when we are watering the tree, detached branches will be stay free, they will be remain fresh. So it is not possible now, because they are detached, they are away from the tree. So we want to be happy, we want to be we want to free from the miseries, and we want the independence, and we want like a same qualities as the Krishna has. And but what is our problem? That Krishna is a big tree, and the Krishna entire universes are inside the Krishna. Like we also seen how he showed the entire universe from his mouth to the Yashoda Maya, and he also manifested the universal form. So everything is resting inside the Krishna. Okay, so Krishna is the tree; it contains everything. But when we come in the material world, when we come in the material world, and when we do the sense gratification, we are detaching ourselves from the Krishna. So unless and until we offer the water to the water to the root of a root of the tree, these branches will get the water automatically when they are attached with the tree. But when we detach ourselves simply for the sense gratification, we go away from Krishna, then whatever efforts you do, these branches will be dry up, and there will be they will dead soon, because they are not attached with his tree, like a tree. So when we are not attached with the Krishna, and when we try for a sense gratification, we won't be happy, because we have detached from our origin. We are detached from our original tree, that is a Krishna. So whatever efforts you do, you won't be happy. But when you serve Krishna, you will automatically happy. Like when you water the tree, like this all the branches and fruits, like who are the attached with the Krishna, who are attached with the Krishna, like they will also become happy, blissful, and they will become eternal as a Krishna. But we don't have to detach ourselves like simply for a sense gratification. Yes, and like all other acts and thoughts are temporary and lead us unending entanglement with the material misery. So, we have to engage our mind in Krishna's service. Like we have to engage our senses in Krishna's service. But when we try our sense gratification, we are becoming detached for Krishna. And like whatever activities we do, whatever do, these are temporary, because whatever material compass you will give, you will work for the 18 hours a day, but you don't have time for Krishna consciousness. Like you will simply rot in this material world. But instead of this, if you work for the 8 to 12, 8 to 10 hours, maximum 12 hours, and the remaining time you are spending for Krishna consciousness and for resting your body so that you can practice more Krishna consciousness, then this is useful, na? So yes, because like whatever material compass you will gain, like whatever wealth you will gain, it will be vanished with this body. Like you are not able to take 1 gram of gold with you, 1 paisa with you when you are leaving this body. Everything will be stay here only. So yes, if one is not Krishna conscious, there cannot be final goal for the mind. We are finding we are running behind the happiness. We want the happiness because it's our nature. Like we got the qualities of our father. Like Krishna is eternally blissful, so we also want to stay long and stay very beautiful and for stay for the very we want a very long life. And we want to be we want to be happy, na? But if we simply run behind the material comforts, we will not going to be happy, because these are a temporary. Mind want more things. Okay, I have to go to the school, then I have to go to the college, then I have to get the job, then I have to marry, then I have to build the house, then I have to take the car, and I have to build the business. Like this cycle will things will come one after one, and you will lose your Krishna consciousness. But what is the proper way? Okay, even I'm in a school, college, or doing business, or doing a job, or I have this I have to do my prescribed duties, but at the same time you have to give some time for the Krishna. You have to manage the spiritual life. And last Srimad Bhagavatam class, Nama Prabhuji said the Krishna consciousness is the primary, and whatever is there, they are secondary. Even the maintaining family and maintaining our body, it is also secondary. Primary is a Krishna consciousness. When secondary things are become impediments between the primary, then it is better to give up the secondary things. Like our Krishna consciousness should be a most priority, because no one going to come to save you when you are on a deathbed, and you have to choose the material world and the spiritual world. But entire life you have spent doing the material activities, sense gratification, then you are not able to remember Krishna. Then what is the use of this life? So yes, and whatever appears very auspicious and happy at one moment may turn into the tragedy to the next moment. So we have to be very careful about this. Yes, I have to follow do the prescribed duties, but what is main priority to do my sadhana? So it is very easy: morning for Krishna, day for work, and evening for a family. So you have to manage this tripod of a life. So Hare Krishna. Sharmila Mataji can read. So we are on a 24 shloka.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O Madhava, please do not let me even glance at those whose pious credits are so depleted that they have no devotion for your lotus feet. Please do not let me be distracted from listening to the worthy narrations of your pastimes and become interested in other topics. Please, O Lord of the universe, let me pay no attention to those who avoid thinking of you, and let me never be unable to serve you in some menial way, birth after birth, purport. Like other Vaishnava's prayers, King Kulashekara's are characterized by single-minded intensity. A critic might say his attitude doesn't embody the golden mean, praised in Greek wisdom. The critic might ask, what's wrong with sometimes serving Krishna and sometimes enjoying yourself in sense gratification? Why be so fanatical as to avoid even glancing at impious persons? And why focus exclusively on the deity of Lord Vishnu? These questions are not to be answered by reason alone. The devotee's exclusive intensity is dictated by love. It is unreasonable to ask someone in love to be interested in something other than his beloved. But Krishna Bhakti is not an ordinary lover's madness. Sri Krishna is the absolute truth, the source of supreme wisdom. And as such, in the Bhagavad Gita, he teaches single minded devotion to himself. Bhaktya tu ananya shakya aham evam vido arjuna jnatum drashtum cha tatvena pravishtum cha parantapa. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Bhagavad Gita 11.54. Furthermore, unlike ordinary materialistic love, one-pointed devotion to Krishna does not produce indifference to everyone else besides one's beloved. While in this verse, King Kulashekara expresses his valid wish to avoid the association of non-devotees. Out of compassion, a pure devotee will glance at and pay attention to non-devotees for the sake of preaching. When a devotee actually becomes fully absorbed in Krishna, he sees the whole world as the Lord's creation and everything as part and parcel of his energies. Through his exclusive devotion to the Lord, the devotee becomes a Mahatma, a high-souled person who works for the benefit of all living beings by reminding them of their connection with Krishna. The stage of Krishna consciousness King Kulashekara desires is not artificial, but is the original state of the living being. He is therefore calling out to the Lord to invoke his mercy so that he can return to his original undistracted, blissful state of samadhi. In the conditioned state, souls are bewildered by innumerable distractions in the name of necessities, sufferings, and enjoyments. And so a devotee prays for the removal of these distractions. The language of devotion may seem extreme to the distracted materialist, but it is actually a prayer for a return to sanity and balance, a return to eternal servitude by the eternal servant of the Supreme Master. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, like it is suggested, like when we are chanting, we have to chant in prayerful mood. So we have to request Krishna, Krishna, please accept me, please purify me, or rather, and please bless me. I'm your eternal servant. Please give me the service. So we have to pray. We have to pray to Radha and Krishna. Please accept me. Please purify me. Please, please protect me. Please pick me from this material ocean. So we have to be in prayerful mood. And like yes, like we also seen the some few prayers, na yes, wherever my oh Krishna, wherever my mind goes, please there, please be there for me. So like we have to recite these prayers, and like not only just mechanically, but we have to feel these prayers, and like we have to offer to Krishna. And one time, like when we become very sincere, Krishna will listen to the prayers. So yes, like we can also take this prayer now. Oh Madhava, please do not let me even glance at those who are pious credits are so depleted that they have no devotion for to your lotus feet. So we don't have to see the non-devotees. And why it is said that? Because non-devotees are generally like they want more and more material comfort. They want more and more uh, like sense gratification. And like when they want, like when we associate with someone, their habits and desires come with us. So when we are associate with the non-devotees, like it's simply going to waste our time, which can be we can engage in Krishna's service, and we will get unnecessary desires. Okay, I want a like a big car, I want a big bungalow, or like I want promotion. Like these things will be come there. Okay, that Mataji was wearing that kind of sari, I also want the same sari. Like I want a sari which is more beautiful than this Mataji. So this desires come. When this desires comes, when you associate with someone who has the material desires and who are the non-devotees, like even they may dress like a devotees, but they are they are not that much advanced. So like we have to avoid this kind of association. We have to associate with someone who can push you to advance in the spirituality, reading Srila Prabhupada books, hearing about the glorification of Lord, and like help you to read the Srila Prabhupada books. So we have to associate with the advanced devotees, like or someone like who can push you in the spirituality, not with someone who has a lot of material desire. So we don't even have to see to such a such a people, non-devotees, because it's going to waste our time and it will be distract us from our devotional service. Please do not let me to distracted from the listening to worthy narrations of your pastimes and become interested in other topics. So yes, our goal is to attain the love for Krishna. Our goal is to serve Krishna. Then whatever things is happening, getting too much material comforts, getting name, fame, like wealth, and all of these things, and like hearing the film songs and like watching the reels, unnecessary things, they are the distraction distraction, and they are diverting us from our original path and from our original goal. So we have to pray to Krishna. Oh Krishna, like uh, like in this entire day, please don't let me be distracted, please bless me so that every moment I will remember you. So we have to pray. When we have the desire, then Krishna will fulfill it. If a Krishna can fulfill the material desires, Krishna can give a different body so that you can do the sense gratification and fulfill your desires. So when you have the spiritual desire, Krishna don't feel that spiritual desire. Krishna will feel, but we should have that like sincerity in that desire. Krishna, please don't let me distracted from the path of spirituality, and please don't let me distracted by from remembering you. So we have to pray to Krishna. This is the only way, and like we have to put the efforts, and at the same time we have to pray. We have to put efforts as everything. Like if you do it, then only things are going to happen. And like we have to pray in a such a way that like everything is everything will happen because of a mercy. So we have to do both things. We have to work hard, and at the same time we have to pray for the mercy. So, and like yes, we have to pray for like we also become and like not to become interested in the topics which are not related to Krishna. Please, oh Lord of the universe, let me pay no attention to those who are avoiding thinking of you, who avoid thinking of Krishna. So we don't have to pay too much attention. We don't have to give our heart to someone who is not interested to glorify the Lord, who simply speaking some nonsense about the material things, and which are the temporary and which will put us in the miserable condition. And let me never be unable to serve you in some menial way, birth after birth. So like we have to pray, like what is most important is like we have to render some transcendental loving devotional service to Krishna. And we hear that example in a Damodar Leela, the boiling milk was uh, committing suicide because like he was not able to serve Krishna. Then what is the use of a life in the life where we cannot serve Krishna? And yes, here like a critic might ask what's the wrong with sometimes serving Krishna and sometimes enjoying yourself in a sense gratification? Yes, like you can give the 4 hours for Krishna in morning, and like rest of day you can do the sense gratification. But this is not this is not good. Or it is like for the 5 day you can go in a temple, and Saturday Sunday you can enjoy with the material friends, or you can do some material activities, watching movies, and going in a parties. So what's wrong with that? Yes, it is a wrong because you know this is the one room, and like we have cleaned the entire room so that we are, and in this room we are worshipping Krishna. And like for the 5 days we are worshipping Krishna, cleaning the room. And for the rest of the 2 days, like what we are doing, like we are doing the material activities, means we are taking the dust and garbage from the outside, we are putting inside this room. So when from the Monday when we start worshipping Krishna, then what is the first step? That we have to clean the garbage. So instead of increasing our intensity towards to love Krishna, we are still going cleaning the garbage. So it is not like that. Like you don't so that's why you don't have to do the sense gratification, because like more you do sense gratification, more sins will be there, and like for the purification it will take a long time. So like this Krishna consciousness is a constant. Daily you have to do the sadhana. And why we are not feeling the ecstatic feelings, like why we are not getting the taste, because we are doing the same, we are getting distracted, and our like like our love for Krishna and our service to Krishna is getting diluted. The more you associate with the non-devotees and like the more you do the sense gratification, our love for Krishna get diluted, and it will take more and more time, and it will take a thousands of years to go back to the Godhead and become purified. So like why we have to wait for the thousands of years? We can in this life we can go back to the Godhead, but we should have that sincerity and we should submissively, and like we have to surrender to Krishna and we have to hear the instructions submissively. We simply have to follow our acharyas. We don't have to manufacture anything, or we don't have to learn something else, or like we have to take the summary from the Vedas. No, you simply have to follow the instruction, because everyone, like it is a spoon feeding now. They have like prepare the food, they have like serve the food, even they are putting the food inside your mouth. You simply have to chew and like you have to swallow. But then also like we are getting lethargic, so and we are becoming lazy, so this is not good. So yes, and like like when you are loving someone, like you don't think about the other person even in the material plane. Like so there is no question like, oh, why you are loving that person, like there are many peoples, like but why this person? So there is no like use of asking this question, nah? Like we are loving Krishna, we should be a single minded in a devotion, like we should, and there should be undivided devotional service. It's not like that today we are staying with this person, tomorrow with that person, and like another time with another, like another time with another person. No, like when we choose Krishna, we have to stay the loyal to the Krishna. When you choose the ISKCON, you have to stay loyal to the ISKCON. When you choose the like Brahma Gaudiya Madhava Sampradaya, you have to stay loyal to the Sampradaya. And it is not just about the following instruction, but like when you go on the social media, like are you watching the videos of someone who is like simply predicting, like pretending that they are the spiritual, or someone who are from the other sampradayas? Because these sampradayas, there are different rules and regulations, and this worship Krishna in a different bhava. So like when you hear from the different sampradayas and people who are not associated with the ISKCON, then like you make the khichdi, and like you that time you don't listen to your what the gurus are saying, what Krishna is saying. You listen to your mind. Okay, this teacher is saying you don't have to eat the onion and garlic, but in that sampradaya it is saying like you can take it sometimes. So like in this in this sampradaya it is saying you cannot take the tea coffee, but in another sampradaya they are keeping the tea and coffee for like a spiritual meetings. So like you will listen to your mind now. Okay, this sampradaya is better, here I can enjoy and I can tea and coffee. So this is this is a khichdi. You don't have to make a khichdi. It will take a long time to go to the back, go back to the Godhead, and you will suffer for a long time. So we have to be stay loyal to the Srila Prabhupada. We have to stay loyal to our Sampradaya. We have to stay loyal to Krishna, and we have to stay loyal to ISKCON. So we don't have to hear from anyone from in a social media. Even they like your mind is like thinking now they are whatever they are speaking. It is so transcendental and it is so beautiful and it is giving me happiness. But if they are not from ISKCON, they are not from Pamadik Sampradaya, they are not from our Sampradaya, we are not going to hear it. And this is our loyalty to the Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada like only used to sleep for 2 hours, like even less than 2 hours. He was writing the books for us. And but like instead of reading Srila Prabhupada books, what we are doing, like we are going in a different sampradaya and hearing their lectures. So this is not good. We are not loyal to Srila Prabhupada, and it is like we are offending. Like why it is offending? Because like you have one person, like when you have your parents, the parents work day and night to educate you, like to establish your business. And like instead of gratitude, like you have to take care of your parents, and whatever assets they have given you, you have to use in their service. But instead of that, like you are going to some other person and serving them and like hearing their instruction, they will feel bad. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada is our grandfather, or like, so he has like worked for us, like he has invested the many things on us, like he has given his books, he has given the rules and regulation, he has given everything. He worked very hard for us. But instead of showing gratitude, following the things, we are going in other sampradaya and hearing from them. So it is like offending, because Srila Prabhupada has put a lot of efforts to establish the ISKCON, and like given us like whatever like easily available for us, like our Guru Maharaj, our like our seniors are work very hard for like to maintain this and to flourish this. Like this ISKCON is a very big tree. Srila Prabhupada so like make the ground, sow the seed, and this tree has become like big, and this to grow this tree, like our senior devotees has taken care of this tree, and now there are sweet fruits. So like the fruits are easily available for us, like so we eat the fruits, but we are not respecting what the efforts like our senior devotees and what the efforts like Srila Prabhupada has put to grow this big tree. And like instead of enjoying these fruits, we are going to other trees, so this is not good. So we are offending Srila Prabhupada when we are like when you are hearing from the other sampradayas or from other teaching. It is not like that, but it is good for you, because like if you hear to them, it will be khichdi, and like it will take long time to understand the spirituality, and it will take a long time to go back to the Godhead. So yes, like at this here, it is said that we don't have to even look at the non-devotees, but like the pure devotees, out of compassion. You know, Srila Prabhupada was a pure devotee. Out of compassion, he goes in a like a Western countries where he preached Krishna consciousness or science of Krishna consciousness. So yes, but we are not a pure like. We are not well established in Krishna consciousness. So like when we go to the pre-reach, and if someone says something like we may get converted, and like we may doubt the Krishna consciousness. So like we have to be careful, like you have to pre-reach, but like when we associate like when we go to the Mayavadi people, when they start questioning like and you are not able to answer, you simply have to leave that place, okay? And like because they will simply like offend the Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON, or they will offend the Krishna. So yes, like what is the original state of a living being is to calling out the Lord, like and and return to the original undistracted blissful state of a samadhi. So yes, we constantly have to remember Krishna. When we remember Krishna, like we can go back to the Godhead and we become purified, because Krishna is a supreme pure person. Na? Like when we associate with the pure, we also become pure. Like when an iron rod is associated with the fire, it also start behaving as a fire. So similarly, when we constantly remember Krishna, when we practice the spirituality, we also become purified. And like yes, there are many distractions, they are innumerable, like a necessity, suffering, enjoyment. So we have to like we have to pray to the Krishna to remove all these distractions, so that like with unflinching devotion and with a full concentration, with a full focus, I can worship you and serve you. And like we can go back to the or we can return to the our eternal servitude, like because we are the eternal servant of Krishna. So we will be happy only if we serve the Krishna. So when we serve Krishna, we become attached to the Krishna, as that branches who are detached from Krishna, they are not going to get the happiness. But when they attach to the trees, then like they will remain the fresh, and they can release the water and every nutrients. So Hare Krishna everyone. Today we can end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Sorry for being like 11 minutes late, but these books
Hare
are so
Krishna
good, na? Like
Mataji.
we can take,
Hare Krishna
so we can take
Mataji.
many takeouts. Yes.
Hare
So
Krishna
this is
Mataji.
book
Thank
reading
you.
session. Yes, this book reading session is not like you are coming, hearing, and going. We have to implement also. Take a one point, and we have to implement in our life. So we have read that like two books now. So we have to choose any one point, and you have to apply. So Hare Krishna, happy Krishna conscious day.
ధన్యవాదాలు.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Pranam,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Jivan
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.